Welcome to Polyglot's Language Academy. I'm Tim Darwinkle. Today I'm reading a Burlesque Biography by Mark Twain. This is an adapted version, best for beginners. The original text and an adapted intermediate version are available at polyglots.co. Let's get started. A few people told me, if you write your life story, we will read it when we have the time. So I finally agree and share my story. My family is very old. The first person we know about was a friend of a family named Higgins. This was in the 11th century when our people lived in Aberdeen, county of Cork, in the country of England. We still use the mother's name, Twain, not Higgins. Why? We don't really know. It is a nice mystery, and we'll leave it there, like many old families do. Arthur Wayne was well known. He was a solicitor on the highway, which means a robber on the road. He lived in King William Rufus's time. At about 30, he went to prison to check something and never came back. He died there suddenly. Around 1160, Augustus Twain became famous. He liked jokes too much. At night, he hit with his sword and scared people to make them jump. Then he started taking their things. The authorities caught him and punished him. They cut off his head and put it high on Temple Bar in London so everyone could see it. For the next 200 years, our family shows many soldiers, brave men who went into battle singing and came out shouting with joy. This answers the old writer Froissart, who joked that our family tree had only one branch that stuck out and bore fruit all year. Early in the 15th century came Beau Twain, the scholar or teacher or professor. He had beautiful handwriting. He could copy anyone's writing so well that people laughed in surprise. Later, he worked breaking stones to build a road. The hard work ruined his fine hand. He did this work for about 42 years, with only small breaks, and died while still working. The government liked him. Every time he finished one contract, they gave him another. He was their favorite. He also worked in a chain gang with other prisoners. He wore his hair short and liked striped clothes. The government was sad when he died. He was a great loss because he was so regular. Later, John Morgan Twain sailed with Columbus in 1492 as a passenger. He was not easy to live with. He complained about the food and said Columbus did not know where he was going. When a sailor shouted, "Land ho!" everyone was excited, except him. He looked through smoked glass at the thin line on the water and said, "That's not land, it is a raft." When he came on board, he brought very little. A newspaper wrapped around a handkerchief and two socks with different initials, plus a nightshirt. but he always talked proudly about his trunk. When the ship was low in front, he moved his trunk to the back and watched. When it was low in back, he told Columbus to send men to move that baggage. In storms, the crew had to gag him because he cried so loudly about his trunk that no one could hear orders. The old ship's record says something strange. He brought his things on board in a newspaper, but took them ashore in 4 trunks, a large crate, and 2 baskets. When he returned and tried to search other passengers' bags, they had enough and threw him overboard. He did not come up. Then someone saw the ship was drifting. The anchor rope was cut loose. The record explains that the troublesome passenger went down, took the anchor, and sold it to people inland, saying he had found it. Even so, this ancestor said he wanted to help the Indians. He built a jail and a gallows and said these things improved them. The record ends by saying he went to watch the first white man hanged in America and was hurt there. He later died from those injuries. The great grandson of this reformer lived in the 1600s. People called him the Old Admiral. He commanded fast, strong ships. When he followed a merchant ship, it always crossed the ocean quickly. If a ship was slow, he took it home and kept it safe, waiting for the owners. But they never came. To make lazy sailors work, he made them walk the plank, a kind of forced swim. After that, they did not complain. If the owners were late, he burned their ships so the insurance would not be lost. Finally, this old sailor was cut down. His poor wife believed that if they had cut him down 15 minutes earlier, he might have lived. Charles Henry Twain lived later in that century. He was a strong missionary. He said he converted 16,000 South Sea Islanders. And he told them that a dogtooth necklace and a pair of glasses were not enough clothes for church. His people loved him very much. After his funeral, they came out of the restaurant crying and said he was kind and gentle, and they wished they had some more of him. In the mid 18th century, another ancestor with a long name, mighty hunter with a hawk eye Twain, helped General Braddock fight against Washington. He shot at Washington 17 times from behind a tree. Storybooks say that after the 17th shot, he felt the Great Spirit was saving Washington for a big mission. So he stopped. The real reason was simpler. He said, "It is no use. That man is so drunk he can't stand still. I won't waste more bullets." That sounds more likely. I enjoyed the nice story, but I think that over time, small stories grow into big ones. People remember Washington's story because the prophecies seem true. They forget the others. There are too many prophecies in the world, and very few come true. Some of my ancestors are better known by other names, so I will not tell their stories in order. For example, Guy Fawkes, 16 String Jack, Jack Shepherd, Baron Munchausen, Captain Kidd, and even names from the Bible like Nebuchadnezzar and Balaam's ass. They belonged to a side branch of the family that looked for more fame by going to jail instead of being hanged. When you write your life story, it is safer not to follow your ancestors too closely to your own time. Speak a little about your great grandfather and then jump to yourself. I will do that now. I was born without teeth, so Richard III had the advantage there. But I was born without a hunchback, so there I had the advantage over him. My parents were not very poor and not very honest. Now I have an idea. My own life seems boring next to my ancestors. So maybe I should not write it until I'm hanged. If others had stopped at their ancestors and waited for such an event, readers might be happier. What do you think? That was a burlesque biography by Mark Twain. Thanks for listening to Polyglot's Language Academy. For transcripts, leveled versions, and more free resources, visit polyglots.co. See you next time.